This bear saved a woman's life who was thrown into the jungle. He began to sweat, and a chill ran down his spine when he saw his wife alive in front of him. The man couldn't believe how she survived in a wild jungle. Then the story shook the whole world. Apparently, when the woman was on the verge of her demise, a bear came out of nowhere and saved her life. Angela had never been in the woods before, and now, at the whim of her husband Simon, the woman was in the middle of the forest. She had no idea what to do, and every rustle or crack of a dry branch scared her. Simon lured her into the woods and deliberately left her in the wilderness. Such cruelty made Angela's eyes fill with tears, and her heart ache treacherously. The poor woman was tired and fell to the ground, but when her eyes opened, a bear was pulling her God knows where. At first, Angela thought that the threatening animal would eat her. However, it was there to save her. Before she met Simon, Angela was a self-sufficient woman who had opened her own real estate agency. Her hard work and passion had paid off, and now she had a solid bank account and a successful life. The only thing that was missing was a life partner, and when Simon came, she thought her life was complete. Unaware that this person was a wolf in sheep's clothes and was about to destroy her and everything she earned. Angela was one of the first agents in her city to start selling real estate on the internet. She was an intermediary who connected the seller and the buyer, getting commission from successful transactions. The handsome womanizer Simon quickly realized what benefits a marriage with such a wealthy woman would bring, therefore Simon wooed her. Angela happily spent all her money on her boyfriend, and they even moved in together. The lady resigned herself to the fact that the newly made husband never got a job and spent most of his time sitting in front of the TV with a can of beer and a bag of chips in his hands. The worst part was that Simon left her at the most difficult time, when his wife was sick with a life-threatening disease. 3 months ago, Angela's health worsened day by day, and therefore one day she decided to visit a doctor. Turned out that she was suffering from cancer and only had a year to live unless the real estate agent acquired the treatment. Angela shared the news with her husband, but Simon was not supportive and told her that she would eventually end up in a graveyard. However, Angela objected, and that's when the man came up with a cunning plan regarding the woman's future and her money. Simon suddenly agreed with his wife about everything, and his wife couldn't be happier about such changes in her husband's attitude. Therefore, when the womanizer offered to take Angela on a walk in the fresh air, she did not get suspicious. Left all alone in the woods, the lady was tormented by hunger and thirst, which only aggravated her already tricky situation. Angela dozed off and only came to her senses when she heard a moan from a bear. The woman opened her eyes, and a big bear dragged and laid her next to the hunter's tent. Near the tent, there was also a dog and a man with a beard with a gun hanging off his shoulder. The hunter began quickly collecting dry wood, apparently intending to build a fire, and after that, he took out a pot and started cooking. The smell caused Angela's stomach to growl from hunger, and she devoured the hot delicacy offered to her. The lady was tired and her eyes began to close. However, she felt the man pick her up and carried her somewhere. Angela woke up the following day, having slept for over 12 hours, looking around with surprise and saw that she was in a small clean room. Suddenly, the door opened, and a frail old woman entered the room. "Are you finally awake, honey? That's good news. Now let me give you this healing concoction, you'll feel better right away." "My name is Dahlia," said the stranger, and handed Angela the mug. The real estate agent took the mug and drank the liquid. She then learned that Dahlia used traditional medicine to cure people. Angela then asked about the man. "Oh, that was Liam. He is a nice man, and a widower, who lost his wife and daughter in a car accident," the old lady said. Angela lived in the house of Dahlia for about 3 months, during which she developed a strong bond with the old woman. Meanwhile, with Liam, she didn't even realize what was happening, but at one point they just knew that they wanted to be together. On the other hand, her husband Simon hired some other woman to act as Angela, so that he could withdraw all her money from the bank account. Thankfully, the bank security team caught his scam, and the man was sent to the police station. He confessed his illegal action, including that he left his wife in the forest. Unfortunately, the law enforcement officers failed to find Angela in the woods, so they considered her deceased. Everybody was left speechless when they saw her come back alive to punish her husband. But it was the doctors at the hospital who were surprised. They ran some tests on Angela and concluded that she was completely healthy. The woman smiled mysteriously, thanking the healer Dahlia and her brave animal that dragged her to Liam's tent. After getting a divorce from Simon, who was convicted of attempted execution, Angela sold her house in the city and moved in with Dahlia and Liam.